people in those times, they didn't talk about depression. They didn't actually recognize anger, some anger and sadness as depression. Ne? They just saw it as anger. Actually, they just described emotions, angry and sad only. When you're happy, you're happy. When you're angry, you're angry. They didn't know that you can actually be depressed. So I think, in my view, Nzwaki was depressed. So Nzwaki used to go to, in the village, you see there were taverns, ne? But it was not a tavern like now where there is disco light and everything in the village. It was like a house where someone would sell alcohol and a few people, group of people would come to drink there. It was called Spot. So Nzwaki would take Lebogang to that spot. They would drink, but Lebogang was a child, obviously didn't drink. But Nzwaki would drink with her husband. They would drink where her husband was Khetla Ihlekisa. That was Nzwaki's husband. Okay, they raised Lebogang together, Nzwaki's husband and Nzwaki. But Nzwaki, because she was this person who lived with depression and she was not aware also. When she was angry, she would beat Lebogang up, and she would take her, swing her up and leave her in the air, and Lebogang would drop down by herself. It was a constant thing. She would do it over and over and over until one day she did it, and Nzwaki fell down, and Nzwaki, she became Lebogang, actually, sorry. Lebogang fell down and she became unconscious. And then one of the relative members phoned Lebogang's mother, which is Mpho. Mpho, come to the village and take your daughter, because now your daughter is going to die. Because now Nzwaki is being very abusive to your daughter. And by that time, I think Lebogang was about 3 years. By that time, she was about 3 years, yeah. Then Mpho came to fetch Lebogang to stay with her in Johannesburg, which she did. She came, and then Lebogang moved to Johannesburg. She was about 3 to 4 years now. And then Mpho and her mother, which they Malebo, which they used to work in the same street. They worked as domestic workers. So they were staying in the house of their bosses. Most of the domestic workers, they have rooms where they work, so they stay there. Okay, so Lebogang would sometimes go to sleep to Malebo, sometimes to Mpho. So because both Lebogang is from a family where there are people who love alcohol. She's from a generation of alcohol, let me say that. So the biological granny, which is Mpho's mother now, also drank alcohol, and Mpho was also drinking alcohol. So she would drink alcohol. When she knows it's her weekend to go out, she would take Lebogang to Malebo. Also Malebo would do that. So it was like this. Okay, so I'm sorry guys, please forgive me. I'm just switching off the data because now I feel like these people. So Lebogang would live like that as she grew. Then I think when she was about 4 years, then Lebogang's mother met the husband, the stepfather of Lebogang. And then Mpho later moved from the suburbs where she was working to the location, to the township where she was now living with their boyfriend, which is the stepfather to Lebogang. Then he later became her husband. Okay, that's where now the whole abuse began. Now Mpho started to become very abusive to Lebogang. Mpho used to beat up Lebogang. Every little mistake Lebogang did, she would beat her. Every little. Split sugar, she was beaten. Split water, she was beaten. Like any mistake, how you eat It was a problem to Mpho. If you sleep and you pee on your blanket, because Lebogang was that child who used to pee on her blanket, she was beaten. If she comes from school and she's dirty, she was beaten. Lebogang was like a domestic worker in her own home. Lebogang knew the domestic chores when she was a very little girl. When she was 6 years, she already knew to clean, to make sure that her shirts were clean, to make sure that her sibling she was taken good care of. When Mpho was at work, she continued to work when she was still in the township. So Lebogang was the one basically taking care of her little sister. Okay, so then Lebogang, in that abuse, sometimes she would not come home after school. She would just go, not knowing where she's going, but because now she didn't want to go home, because at home there's no love, there's no comfort, there's no warmth that every child has a right to. So basically Lebogang grew in that abuse. And there was this other time. Now remember, Mpho was used to beat Lebogang with anything that she came across with. She would beat her with a shoe, with mostly she used to beat her with a cup on her head. When Lebogang was that child who didn't have a lot of appetite when she was growing. She would envy food, and then when she was supposed to eat, suddenly she's full. Like, I think most of children do that. They don't like food, but they mostly love junk food. If you have a plate of rice and meat and have a cake, they will pick a cake. They would pick a cake. So that is how Lebogang was. And now the family around Lebogang, like the siblings of Mpho, they were aware of this treatment. Because sometimes they would cover up for Lebogang. When Lebogang made a mistake, they would say it's them instead of saying the truth that it's Lebogang, because they knew that Lebogang was in trouble. If they would say, no, it's Lebogang who did this. It was, I remember when there was this other incident when Lebogang burnt her little sister. And then the aunt was there, Lebogang's aunt. And then the aunt covered up for Lebogang. Then she told her sister that no, it was her that actually burnt Lebogang's younger sister. Basically, so Lebogang, Mpho used to beat Lebogang with cups on the head. Blood was shed. Like Lebogang would bleed for a very long time. In most cases, Lebogang has scars. She has scars in her head to show as an evidence of how she was beaten up by her mom. And then there was this I think the most thing that Lebogang is struggling to forget is when her mother Mpho beat her up for when she was accused of drinking the little sister's medicine. You know, when in our black cultural people, when a child is very young, you buy a grape water, umutu wenyo, and all those things, ne, for that little baby. Yeah, that is how we grew up knowing that every child they need that in their first few weeks and months. So Lebogang was accused that she drank without medicine, and Lebogang knew that she did not. Then the mother undressed Lebogang. She tied her up, both the legs and the feet, and she put a washing cloth, which is, we call it vaslap, on fagi vaslap emlomo. Then shaya, she beat her up until Lebogang couldn't cry. And actually, I think Mpho didn't want people to hear that Lebogang is crying. They didn't want people to come and help. That, I think that was the aim for Mpho. And then she beat Lebogang up until she was satisfied, I think. And the other incident is when Lebogang came from school. She was dirty, and then Mpho asked Lebogang, why are you dirty? Because other kids are not dirty. How are you playing at school? And then when Lebogang tried to answer, then she was beaten up with a, I don't know, a cooking stick for porridge, on her head. Then I think the cut was too big. I think it was very big. Then Mpho took a needle, the needle that you saw your clothes with, and that I don't know what you call it, but it's nalete letlhale. Then she saw Lebogang, and I think that was the most true incident in her life that she cannot forget. Yeah. Then Lebogang was basically mother to her siblings. She would carry her siblings. Lebogang couldn't sleep at night because now when she was supposed to sleep, when the siblings maybe at a very tender age, when they were maybe 3 months, 4 months, 5, giving Mpho trouble. The kids, Mpho would call Lebogang out to come and take her siblings and make sure that they must come when they are asleep. Lebogang was basically a mother because Mpho didn't mother her children, but Lebogang did. Lebogang made sure that when the kids are crying at night, she was the one who was called to make sure that he take those kids to sleep. And even though they were crying hard, Lebogang would put them on her back, maybe because it was we are up. Lebogang and the brothers and the siblings are apart 5 years. So with 5 years, Basianaka 5 years. So I think by the time the brother was a little baby, Lebogang was about 10 to 11 years. Yes. So she would the mother would call Lebogang out, come and take this child. Don't you hear that this child is crying? And if Lebogang would sometimes ignore the fact that she doesn't want to come and take the child, the mother would swear at Lebogang, and Lebogang was she had nothing to do but to wake up and go and take her sibling and put her on her back and go outside. Sometimes it's at night. Then she makes sure that the brother is sleeping. Then she brings the brother to the mother. Yeah, that's how she grew up. And then when she was in her high school also, the last born, the last sibling, it was the same thing. It was like Lebogang was supposed to make sure that the house is clean, the kids are clean, the food are cooked, the washing, the laundry is clean. That's basically what Lebogang was supposed to do. And Lebogang was like a mother to her siblings, because she did everything for her siblings. The siblings were more close to Lebogang more than the mother. And there was this incident whereby even on holidays when she was supposed to visit to the grandmother, Lebogang must be the one who's going with the siblings. And when she's at the village with her siblings, obviously she must even there take care of the siblings. And because now the sibling are attached to her, it's her work, because it's her job, because now the siblings also they are not comfortable with other people apart from Lebogang. So Lebogang I think she enjoyed hardship. Like Lebogang had it very hard. She didn't have a very good upbringing. Her life was not sugar at all. And at this point, I think her siblings, they don't understand. They think that Lebogang does not forget about the past. Lebogang is not okay. Lebogang loves. Lebogang o rata ditshele. Lebogang hana peace. Lebogang doesn't have peace. Lebogang uthanda udlame. Lebogang akathanda uxolo, akakhohlwa ngento zakudala. Ulebogang umuntu ongazwisisi. Ulebogang umuntu hypocrite according to them. They think so because this other sibling, the other sister was close to Lebogang. They were like best friend, but now they are no longer best friend. Everyone is living her life, and like to the point that the little sister feels like Lebogang is in competition with her. And it is not about that. It was about why didn't the mother love them the same. That is the thing, that if the mother was so frustrated, I understand if maybe Mpho also had depression, but why is the depression only working towards Lebogang, but the other children, the depression was not there? That is the main question that Lebogang is still having. And Lebogang is trying to heal because this thing is been hanging over her shoulder for a very long time. So it's been a burden. So guys, it's basically the story. Lebogang started to commit suicide when she was 11 years. That was her first suicide. The second suicide when she was, I think the first suicide, yes, she was 11. She was in grade 3. The second suicide was when she was in grade 4. Basically, every year she tried to commit suicide. The third suicide, I think she was still in grade 7. She was in grade 7. Then the fourth suicide, she was in grade 8. Fifth suicide in grade 9. And then the sixth suicide, she was in grade 10. And yeah, she was in grade 10. Seventh, she was in grade 11. Then Lebogang is a dropout, guys. Lebogang is a dropout. She failed her grade 11 twice. And the last, I think she committed suicide 10 times. The last suicide, she was in grade I don't know, she was not in school by that time. She was now a mother. No, no. Before she went out of school, she committed suicide, and then after she was when she was a mother of 2. And then that was the last attempt of suicide. It was on 2020. She tried to commit suicide also. Because this thing is not, I don't think it was easy on her, and I don't think it's easy on her. You cannot just wake up in the morning and forget. You ask yourself questions. Why me no mama mangithandi? Why me? My mother's not loving me the same as she's loving my other brothers and sisters. Like why you have that question why mina? Yini mina engayenze ngakho ukuthi mama angizonde? What is it that she see when she looks at me? Another incident, guys, there are many incidents that happened in Lebogang's life, but she cannot disclose that. And Lebogang, guys, it's me. That is the truth. That girl I've been talking about, it's me. I've went through all that. And there are many incidents, guys, that I cannot, I couldn't disclose here because I would make a long video. But I want to tell you today that depression is painful. You don't wake up one day and say, I'm free, I'm okay. It's painful because those incidents, they broke me. Being rejected by your own parents is not easy, guys. You need love from every child deserves love from their parents. And we go through a lot. I grew up as a broken child and I became a broken parent to my kids. And every day battling to be the best mother. I reprimand myself when I'm harsh to my kids, when I also beat them. Sometimes I also beat them to a way that I feel that I'm abusing them because sometimes this frustration is too much on me. So that is why I'm saying, guys, it is not easy to live with depression, and people, they don't understand. And this thing, you're rejected by your own parent, it's like a generational thing. Even in your relationship, they don't last because now you come with this brokenness and you want someone to complete you. And I think in a relationship you do not need to be completed but to be complemented. That is what is needed. So we want this thing that we never got from our home, and when we cannot get it, we become obsessive, we become angry. That is why most of people who are depressed cannot have long-lasting relationships unless if they get they get that partner that really loves them. Then maybe they it becomes better. But then let me tell you guys, depression is not easy. Depression is painful. So I want to tell you today that this is my last video. Maybe in 2022 I will see you again next year. Have a happy new year and a prosperous one. And I love you all, guys, and please talk to anyone that you feel that you are safe with. Be open. If you feel that you are depressed and you see the signs of depression in your life, be open, talk, comment in my videos. If you feel like you want to talk to me, because I know what you're going through. I've been through a lot of sad times in my life. So basically my videos is to make people aware that depression is here, and depression, we live with it. And the other thing, guys, please people pray, because ukuthandaza kuyasiza. I don't know if I was not praying, maybe I could have been dead. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful to God, because He's the only person who protected me all these years. Because in that process of being abused by my mother, because there were other times whereby I would go at night like that, and then one day I met this guy who wanted to rape me, but by the grace of God I managed to escape. So people, like, there are many things, and I'm not saying I'm right, because I was a trouble. I was naughty when I grew up, and I think part of me being naughty was me trying to express myself, because I was angry inside. So guys, please, depression is here, and be aware of it, and it's a sickness, and it does kill, because people go to sleep and they never wake up because they are too much depressed. So people, be aware, and life is too short. Masiphila ukuthanda thina, masiphila ukujabulisa thina. Let us live to please us by not hurting anyone, but please yourself, make yourself happy, and love yourself first, because this one matters the most. Hello everybody, it's me, your girl. Happy festive. I hope festive is like this. Imunate boss. I hope your festive is beautiful, is fabulous, is great. Before we can go any further, it's Khomozakhan Granny. My channel is talk about everything in depression. Please subscribe, comment, and like. Please down there, just subscribe, and like and comment. Thank you, Nyabonga. People, ilanga selifikile ne, sasilifikile, where I've been promising ukuthi I'll tell you more about the story. So muntu lo engimaziyo one depression, this person that has been living with depression for a very long time, and still struggling to get over some stuff in her life. People, please bear with my English. There will be spelling errors in my videos. There will be some pause nyana, because we've got load shedding, so my video is, I think, it's not how it's supposed to be. So, and I'm gonna mix this language with the Fennec, so that everyone must hear me well, so that I must pass the message we're supposed to get. And my English is not fluent, people, please, I'm not good when it comes to English. So I'm just trying to make everyone to understand what I'm trying to say, and to pass the message we're supposed to go to people who are living with depression. It might not be you, it might not be someone, it might not be you actually, but it might be someone close to you, a friend, a family member, or anybody else, a neighbor, anyone that you know, that maybe you see some signs of depression. This message might not help you, but it might help someone else. So I urge people to listen to my videos clearly and carefully and with understanding, because some people just listen to pass, and I know there will be haters, and I know there will be those who think I'm doing this for people to sympathize with me. No, I don't want any sympathy, and I'm not a victim, because I've passed through that. I'm very strong to be a victim or to live like a victim. No, I'm I'm in a process of healing. I want to make things clear. I'm in a process of healing. I am healing. Healing is not a process of 1 month, 2 months, and sometimes something can happen today, and it can actually hit hard when you are older, and it can hit hard maybe after 10 years after the thing that has happened to you. So people must not judge, must stop to judge and say into something that has happened long time ago and she's still talking about it. No, my healing process, it might not be the same as your healing process. We do not digest things the same. So let us be careful on using words to other people, and how we use our words to other people, because some words might stay and damage someone else personality. So please let us be careful on how we use our words. So okay, people, my story, I'm not going to disclose names and the people in the story, the characters. So my story is going to be short because it's a very long story. So if I'm going to tell you the whole story, it means my video is gonna be very, very, very long. So my story is about this girl who is living with depression at the moment, and the depression, it began at the very early stage. Actually, the abuse, let me not say the depression, because depression is when now you understand everything. Okay, the name of the characters, it will be it is gonna be Lebogang, which is the girl. It is going to be Nzwaki, which is the granny, Mpho, which is the mother, and Malebo, which is the other granny. So Lebogang was born in the village, and the mother later left her to Nzwaki, which is the mother's aunt in the village, when Lebogang was about 11 months, and then the mother left to Johannesburg to work. Okay, and so Nzwaki was was addicted in alcohol. She used to consume alcohol. She used to drink alcohol. She was addicted to alcohol. I think Nzwaki, in my view of thinking, Nzwaki was also depressed, but because